Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another Mac Merlin stream, the stream in which I build keyboards from the software to the hardware end. Today we are building a KBD67 Mark II. But before we begin all that, to answer the most important question of the day, what is Merlin drinking? Merlin is once again drinking Bundaberg! Ginger beer from Australia once again. Becoming probably my favorite ginger beer of all time. I'm down to my last two, so I'll have to drop by the store and pick up a bit more. Let's see who's here today. Oh, Duncan Yo-Yo, thank you so much for subscribing at Tier 1. 11-month streak. Dang, congratulations, man, and thank you. Let's see who else is here. I see a Peter Poppins, Shadow Realms, Gatinas. Thanks, guys. So I feel like last time I drank this, it didn't even last the entire stream. So I might just go through my existing stock, which is 2, by the way. Let's see. Right, here we go. Chart09 says, yay, you get to watch my build stream. Yeah, Chart is known as Charles on the KBD Fans Discord. He's also a local here in Seattle, Washington. So he reached out to me a few weeks ago and asked me to build him this board, this KBD67. So for those of you who don't know what a KBD67 is, let me talk about it really quickly. Here, let's turn on some music. Turn on some music and talk about it. Let me grab mine, actually. So back in about September of 2019, KBDFans, a company in China actually, created, or they contracted ai03, who is a prominent keyboard designer in our community, and they made a top mount brass plated 65% board that looks like this. Check it out. It came in several variants, a hot swap variant and a soldered variant. Yeah, the one that I have is hot swap. The one that I'm building today is actually soldered. See, Gatina says, has the NOAA pipeline been approved into VIA yet? I watched the programming stream. The NOAA will not be supported in VIA. Yumish Hockey says, did you pick up a KBD8X today? No, I did not. Shadow Realm says, I hate how my brass rate bows out a little. Really? But it's rattly. This is rattly. Yes, it's definitely one of the worst sounding boards that I've ever purchased. Well, worst sounding in terms of custom. Like, typically customs will always sound better than your typical OEM. But this one I got around by putting lots of foam in it and doing a much better lubing job. But yeah, here it is. This is what the finished product will look like. The one that Chart has actually is going to be in gray, in dark gray, and he's also using linear switches. But yeah, we will compare the two once I finish the build. There we go. Let's go through the build of materials. There we go. He is using full-on milky gat blacks, which it's been a long time since I've seen these. Check it out. It's got clear top and cream bottom, or actually, I guess it's still cream top, but it's noticeably a different material, top and bottom. These are typically scratchier than their black bottom, milky top brethren. So yeah, it's been a while since I've seen these. Endeavor says KBD8X Mark II group buy is still open with more colors, but for September delivery, oof. Alright, let's see. Here is the PCB. Let's go through the PCB really quick. As I said earlier, this is a soldered variant. If you guys watch me on YouTube, I actually did a review of the version 1. So back in September when this board first debuted, it had this version, and it had the hot swap version. The differences being this one was using an Atmega32U4 chip, and the hot swap variant was using an ARM chip. This also had ESD protection, whereas the hot swap did not. So as you can imagine, actually if you watch my review, you will see that I was very unhappy because my board broke within a week. Ever since then, I've upgraded to a V2, and so far my ESD issues seem to have all gone away. Hopefully. Paul Golly says, I've broken some MX Blacks for a month and lubed, absolutely in love. I think I got a good batch. Nice. Peter Poppin says, what is the difference between normal Milky and ink black? And ink black. So ink black is a completely different series than the regular Gateron, regular ones. So usually you've got your all Milky Gateron, you have your clear top black bottom, then you have your Milky top black bottom. The Milky top black bottom was their quote-unquote latest release of their regular series and is also the smoothest in my opinion. The inks are like, they're still made by Gateron, but they're a different series. They're much better, much smoother. Endeavor says, nice PCB, you have to admire the attention for detail that ai03 has. I totally agree. Look at that. You've got a flex cut in the middle of the PCB, so you have additional flex. And yeah, not sure if you guys can see it, but right there, right below the USB port is the ESD chip. Right there. Yeah, if you're ever wondering if your board has an ESD chip, the best place to look is around the USB. What this ESD chip protects is actually the path from your USB port all the way to your microcontroller. So you want it as close to the USB port as possible. So here it is, it's right there. It's right there. It's a little, looks like it's a little 4-pin guy. Very cool. Yeah, very nice. This is actually the first KBD67 soldered PCB I have ever seen. Look at that reset button right there. Cool beans. Put that back for now. And let's see. He also has foam for his build. He actually got regular switch foam or switch plate foam. Look at that. Which he actually does not want me to include in the build. And regular case foam right there. Check that out. So we'll only be using the case foam for this build. And yeah, as you can see, oh yeah. You guys can't see, but off to the side, I've already started lubing some of his stabilizers. He is using Durock stabilizers from Prime KB. And yes, Prime KB, I believe, should be restocking stabs closer to the end of the month, which is next week. And last but not the least, the actual keyboard. No KB says, I got VIA working on mine pretty easily. Which board are you talking about? There we go. That. Brass plate. Check it out, guys. Brass plate. You may notice that on a soldered PCB, or the soldered KBD67, the brass plate does not have holes for standoffs. This is because the switches will be properly held in place via solder, so you don't need to screw this onto your PCB. It's my understanding that some customers have received a soldered board, but with all of the components needed for hot swap, so people have been confused. You can ignore all that. Noah says KBD67 Mark II. Oh yeah, for sure. Chart says, I took out the 7U spacebar, the 7U bar. Yes, you did. Alright, here we go. let's take a look at this guy. So once again, if you guys watched my review, you'll know that I was very unhappy with the numerous scratches my board had. So let's just take a look at his board just to see if it's any different condition than mine. So off the bat, I can see a tiny scratch on the inside already, right there. That's one. Anything else I'm seeing? I see another tiny scratch down over here in this corner. So far, it's all internal. That's fine. Anything on the outside? Nothing on the beveled edges so far, which is good. Beveled edges on the top look fine. Very good. How about beveled edges on the bottom? On the bottom there is a tiny scratch here in the corner. Not very noticeable unless you've experienced it yourself. I also noticed that your brass weight is actually brushed, unlike mine. Mine is shiny. So this is an interesting change. Cool, cool. Yeah, for the most part it looks good. Yay! Not bad. Not bad. See, Topher McKee subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. I'm also seeing a Paul Golly following. Thanks, man. Thank you for all your support, guys. There we go. We are gonna put, let's see, we're gonna put all this away for now because I still have to finish all of the stabilizers. So until then, we gotta do this. No KB says, do you have to use the button on the PCB to get into bootloader mode on this, or is there a key as well? I always recommend someone, like, anytime everyone asks this question, I always recommend to just press the physically connected button, which is that button on the back. Like, all of the shortcuts, you know, for example, you can hold down escape, and then you plug in. You can hold down space B, plug in. You can, like, if you're plugged in and you have reset program, you can just do like FNR or like whatever. All of those are software controlled. What if you're in a position where you're unsure what your software is, or if your software is corrupt? You can't do anything there, right? That hardware button on the back of the board will always work unless your board is broken. So I always recommend just press that button. If you don't like pressing that button, then put like a reset key code on like layer 1 or something. But yeah, here we go. Let's continue lubing. I have 2, 4, 6 housings lubed. Just need to get the last 2 done. Here we go. I always like to lube them with 205G0. Chart says, when I have you build my 8X, I'm going to include an Imgur album for you to show on stream of what it looked like before Cerakoting. Ah, very nice. Very nice indeed. Based on the quality of your Cerakoting, I may have to Cerakote some of my boards. Some of my boards that are horribly scratched, like possibly my KBD67. We'll see. Maybe I'll like it more, who knows. Mr. McGurk really wants that black PC67 Mark II. Yeah, so my issue with PC boards is that the screw-ins don't have metal inserts. So, you know, if you take your board apart too many times, there's a chance you might mess those up. Paul Golly says, firmware and can I use VIA for PCB flash but not showing up in VIA? Make sure you have the most up-to-date VIA. Make sure you have a working cable. Make sure you flash the right firmware. All that stuff, you know. Make sure, like, I've seen instances where if you have your board plugged into a hub, it doesn't work. So you just never know. Just never know. Make sure the cable is connected. Guys, I have once assisted someone on QMK. They were asking me why their reset button wasn't working. And after like what, 15-20 minutes of debugging, he didn't realize that he had to plug in his board. And I was just kind of like, So, you know, like one of the very first questions that I ask whenever someone asks for help is, I'm like, is your cable working? Are you plugged into the right ports? And people have gotten pissed at me and been like, I'm not stupid, Merlin. I know how this works. I'm like, I know you're not stupid, but, you know, sometimes I need to ask these questions just to be absolutely sure. Alright, looks like I've got all these stab housings lubed with 205G0. Let's put them all together now. The PC hype train is real, indeed. It is very real. Let's see, do I have enough? Got backspace, enter, left shift, and space. Okay, perfect. That's all I need. JHS says, how much lube would you say I need for a 65% board for switches and stabs? I think Krelbit had the calculation for that, but I typically just buy here. Let me post the link here, especially since he just restocked. I typically just buy, where is it? There we go. Project Keyboard sells a huge container of lube. And if you guys kindly use my affiliate code right there, which I linked in chat, you can get one of these guys as well. Basically, what? Here, let me show you how much I have left. For those of you who are watching my show for a while, this thing hardly ever runs out. I've already done like, what, 30 keyboards? Maybe even 40. These are 40 keyboards worth of switches and stabilizers, and it's just so much lube. Pretty sure I could go another 40 and be fine. Yeah, alright. Yeah, it's like, no, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm just gonna buy 2 milliliters. I'm just gonna buy 4 milliliters, but You know, if you're anything like me and you start to, God forbid, enjoy this hobby, you're gonna start buying more keys, and therefore you're gonna need more lubrication. See, I see a couple more people. Enzyme has followed. Thanks, man. I keep wanting to buy 205G0, but I can't seem to justify buying that much lube. Yeah, I couldn't justify it either until I started realizing how often I lube. Or you don't realize that you don't lube as much as you should because you don't have lube. So by actually buying the lube, it gives you a reason to do proper lubing. You build like 20x as many keyboards. Yeah, that's very true. I build at least one keyboard a week at this rate. Either a build for myself or a build for a customer. Though, what, I think the last couple weeks I've only built one for myself. Just this guy right here. And the rest have been customer builds. Though the next 2 weeks should all be me, I think. No, wait, I've got one more customer. So maybe the next 2 weeks after next week should be builds that I've been doing. Yeah, I have an Alps build that I've been waiting to do, and I also have my ID80. Chart says, Scott says, just think about how much time you're spending on shipping 2 milliliters at a time. Do I sell my 8008 or Red Sound to help me feel better about my Impulse Mizu buy? Ooh, ping me after. I might be interested in your 8008. But I'm willing to bet your 8008 will get more hits than your Red Sam. Especially since Red Sam shows up super often. It's currently a seller's market for sure. Ah, I know, with nothing ever in stock. There we go. Looks like you've got a spare 2U stab after all this. So I like to use dielectric grease on the wire for the stabilizer. People keep asking me this question. Merlin, you have so much 205G0, but why do you still use dielectric grease? Primarily out of habit, to be honest. I've used dielectric grease for the longest time. Just keep using it. I also like the fact that it's easier to get it thick. You guys probably can't see that, but I have a nice coating on the leg right there. Someone offered you GMK Merlin for your 8008. Yeah, dude. I keep getting tagged in like Instagram posts, Facebook posts, random messages on Discord. Hey, I just got GMK Merlin, and I'm sitting here like, well, I haven't. I still don't have GMK Merlin. So I'm like, okay, it better come next week, otherwise I'm going to put up a fuzz. Who was your vendor? I bought from Kono. But I should have bought from My Keyboards, actually. mykeyboards.eu. Enzyme, if you use the exclamation point drink command, you will see exactly what I'm drinking. But today I am drinking Bundaberg Ginger Beer. The stream just started, well, half an hour ago, and I'm already halfway through. Shoots. I'll probably have to find something else to drink when I start soldering. We'll see. We shall see. Yo, Merlin, can you configure a caps lock LED indicator in VIA, or should I dive into QMK? The latter. Typically, where you if it's programmed in QMK, your indicator should turn on wherever you put the caps lock to be. Imagine having emails about GMK Merlin shipping. I know, right? I've gotten an email saying that it's being processed, but no tracking number, no nothing. No nothing. Well, let's see. GMK Merlin group buy ended in September. So what? That's been... It's been almost a year, I'd say. It's been almost a year. I'm 3 months shy. You guys are paying attention to the Geek Hack pose. I've been updating it as soon as I get... Whenever I get like a major update. So my next update will be... Merlin gets his actual shipping... Or gets his actual tracking number. There we go. All stabs are in place. Gondo says, I want GMK Merlin stream. Thanks for joining in, Gondo. Alright, where is that PCB? Merlin will throw a party when those comes in. Yeah, I know, right? Alright, there are less, by my count, I don't know exactly how many vendors bought, but by my count, there are less than 300 GMK Merlin sets in the entire world. Sets just keep piling up. Well, I think they need to... From what I hear, they are still not at capacity. So, no, perhaps they have some kind of algorithm to like determine, oh, once we reach X% capacity, then that means that's when we buy a new machine. You know, or maybe it's when a customer has to wait more than 1 year, that's when we buy a new machine, or something like that. Who knows? Should probably talk with Living Speed Bump about that. Is there extra for GMK Merlin? You will have to check your local store for that. Yeah. If you're here in the US, that would be Kono. If you're in the EU, that would be mykeyboards.eu. There's also, if you're in Asia, it's Ilum KB. Yeah, lately I've been getting lots of people messaging me saying, hey Merlin, can I buy a GMK Merlin off of you? And I'm like, I'm not selling mine, no way. Especially since I don't have it yet. But also, I am not a store. I am not a store. I do not stock products. Turned out to be a nice though. Thanks, Ian. glad you like it. Hey, I just basically used default colors, man. The whole story was I really like Triumph Adler, and I really like Nautilus. And I'm like, what would it look like if you put the two of them together? Well. Alright. We got all the stabs in. Time to put in the screws. I am going to need some washers for this. Where did I put my washers? Chart said you tested a PCB too. Yeah. You said you tested it for me, so I can test it again to see if your testing was sufficient. But hold on, let me. Where did I put my washers? Yeah, and says, while you're building, I'm building a Curia. Nice. I forget what that board is, but I think it's, I think you showed me a few days ago. Is it that split board? I know that's super specific. It's a split by Thomas, 128 by 64 OLEDs. Ah, okay. What colors would GMK Merlin, not having GMK Merlin, be if it were a key set? I have no clue. Bear switch stamps. Is there no washers in the box? No, there are no washers in the box. So I'm gonna have to use my own, which is fairly typical. Just if I can find them. I was just using them this morning too, so I must have misplaced them. Hold on, guys. Here we go. Washers. I bought these washers probably three years ago at this point. Have not run out at all. Can you do split backspace on the hot swap version of this board? No, you can't. Hot swap is usually a single layout design. The hat is fire, says Grady Designs. Thanks, man. See, Caldestad 1 has followed, and so has Yoda Droid. Thanks, guys. I feel like I drank that Bundaberg way too fast. The LG 27-inch, yeah, got 2 of them. Got one in horizontal and one in vertical. Picked them up from Costco not too long ago. I think there were 2. Well, the first time I bought it, I was super lucky. I got it on sale for 150 bucks. But the second time was just regular pricing, so it was more like what, 240 or something. But still, these are Costco prices. If you were to buy this like at Best Buy, it's still in the $300 range. Was E8.5 added to VIA? Not yet. I'm still waiting for it to be merged into QMK. Labelsi, Iabelzi says USB-C to C doesn't work. A lot of boards, KBDFans is very notable for this. A lot of boards don't actually support USB-C to C. You have to be careful. It's funny because it's like, I think it was Scully Dazed of Clueboard who mentioned this. He's like, I didn't know that USB-C to C was a feature. I thought it was standard. It's kind of like advertising, oh, the board works. Chart, thanks for subscribing. Oh look, a $5 bonus for the build job. Any way ahead of time to tell the PCBs? You would have to look at the schematics, but I'm not sure how readily that is available. Basically, I believe USB-C to C support entails one additional pull-down resistor, if I remember correctly. Alright, do I have screws everywhere? Shift, space. Yep. All that good stuff. Alright. No. Alright, chart. I'm going to double check your work. Make sure the PCB still works. Plug it in. Plug it in. Keyboard setup assistant has detected the keyboard. Perfect. Alright, let me pull up a Just double check that it works. There we go. Escape. Oh, it's not registering. Come back to that. Alright, so from the looks of it, oh, let's see, caps lock location is assigned MO1 by default. You know what? Is VIA on this board? VIA is indeed on this board. And from the looks of it, caps lock is indeed caps lock. And there is no MO mapped anywhere on this. But yet there is a layer 1. Here, let me show you guys what I'm seeing here. Here we go, see? Layer 0, which is your base layer. You've got your caps lock right there. There is no MO anywhere. But yet there is layer 1 defined here. So let me just... Let's do that. MO1. Okay. There we go. Let's use the VIA key tester. How about that? How about that? Just make sure. Okay, caps lock. There we go. Now it's triggering. Must have just missed that earlier. Okay, let's try the O. Hopefully the O works. There we go, it works. Yeah? Okay. Yay, it works. macOS has a timeout requirement on it. Ah, okay. Alright. Good. Things seem to work. No problem. Alright, let's get back to building this. Don't do that to me. There we go. Let's turn off VIA for the time being. Yeah, there we go. I won't need any more of these. Let's go put them away. Grab that plate. At least you didn't send him an exclusive E8.5. Oh boy. Ah, think about brass plates. Think about when it's brushed like this, it doesn't really take fingerprints as well. That's good. I don't need to go grab gloves like I had to do with this guy. There we go. All right, let's just test out these stabs really quick. Let's test these out. Peter Poppin says, yesterday I was switching my switches in my Tokyo 60, and when I put a GAT brown on my O, it doesn't read the input, but when I put a blueberry in it, it reads it. I would say to make sure that the GAT brown you're trying is actually a working switch. Yeah, I'm noticing this a lot. Hey, your plate is brushed, mine is shiny. There we go. There we go. All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out. You guys have talked to me lately on Discord. You may know that I am a big fan of JTK. Kai Lohnert has subscribed. Thank you, man. Shift key. Nice looking Xeno I got. Yeah. Been waiting so long to build it. Okay, I need my backspace key, which I think is, hold on. I think my backspace key is still on my tofu, and I'm correct. There we go, backspace key. Okay. I think I actually think the backspace could use a little bit more lube, and the left shift could use a little less lube. Let me try and remedy that. Chart says, Merlin is building this for me, and then he's gonna get my 8X next to build. Yeah, I'm building 2 KBDFans boards. You know, I've only ever built DZ60s and KBD67s. Let me... Done. Right. As I was saying, I think I kind of overlubed the left shift. Clean that up a little bit. You'll throw your caps in the dryer if you need them in a hurry. Yeah, I'm actually the same way. Especially if they're not very expensive caps. Or if they're PVT, actually. How can you tell if it's over lube or under? Just how it feels and like how it sounds. Like the left one felt really, really mushy when I pushed it down. So I was like, oh yeah, I probably have too much lube there. And this guy felt, well, it sounded a little more rattly than the others. So I think it could use a little bit more dielectric. Yeah, that seems to be gone. Okay, now we just have to put a little bit more here. So right now I'm just inspecting the lube that I'm seeing on them, and yeah, okay, it's on the right leg that I need to put a little bit more. Alright. Singapore says, just got the Timo Fifth. Thanks for the letter. That was an awesome touch. Thanks, man. That letter is secret. Yeah, Singapore is another customer of mine who just got his Timo built. Hope you like it, man. Did the music stop? No, the music's still going. Yeah, well, maybe it just moved on to the next track. Alright, okay. You posted some pics in Top Clock. Nice. I would love to see Merlin on your set, or on your Timo, but I don't think Merlin actually supports the Timo. All right. I think we good. We good. Start soldering. Rip ortho set. Yeah, I know, man. Here, I had a lot of people message me about supporting 40s. Like, I had like so many people. But what I learned from this group buy is that, you know, unless people put their money where their mouth is, it's not really much to listen to. I believe only, not mistaken, only 17 people opted to buy the 40s kit. So at that rate, I'm just like, yeah, whatever. All right, let's put it in. Chart. Are these lubed? Or are these stock? These are lubed, okay. 80 of them are. Well, you didn't really specify which 80, did you? There we go. I'm assuming these are the ones that are not, and the rest are. Can we talk about the potential run for Cat Merlin? Maybe, yeah. No, I think it's with like Merlin coming out of the way, it should be good. You gave me all of them, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I'm assuming this is just the unlubed bag, so I'll probably throw those out there. James Poe just subscribed. Okay, this is really weird. I updated. I'm trying to make sure that Streamlabs got all of this on, but it's still showing all of the old graphics. It's very odd. It should actually say magic, but for some reason it's that stupid zombie thing. Here, let me just check that out really quick. Streamlabs. Right, alert box. Let's see, subscription. Yeah, that should have worked. I don't know why it's not picking up other stuff here. See that? Weird. Weird. Oh well. Your wallet's gonna stab you because you lost track of stuff. That's what happens, man. Okay, so everyone's saying, oh, you just have to get used to this hobby because, you know, things don't ship in 2 weeks. Sometimes group buys take months, some even take years. But it's like, that's a bad thing because sometimes it's harder to keep track of what you've spent. Like, not everyone watches their bank account like a hawk, right? But people do watch their possessions. So if you just so happen to be in like a bunch of group buys that are delivering late, it seems like you haven't bought much. You have the same monitor as me? Did you buy it from Costco as well? Because I bought mine from Costco. I'm actually considering buying a third. I haven't bought monitors in over 10 years, and during this COVID season, this was the time where I was like, you know what? It's time to refresh my monitor, so I bought 2. You love having 3 monitors? I used to have 3 monitors. I didn't like it as much because it forced me to like strain my neck. You know, just like looking left and right like that. But the way I've got it right now is 1 horizontal and 1 vertical right here. I love having 3 monitors. You could buy that 49 from Costco. Oh boy. Yeah, I also don't like having a single ultra wide because I do have lots of windows open. Like, it's fine if I'm just doing terminal applications, but you know, when I'm doing Twitch and stuff, it's a lot easier having multiple monitors. You have 2 and they're good for the price. I agree. Yeah, so my old gaming monitor actually went to my wife here in the back. I know, right? It's always when your bank account is low that the GB that you hardly follow goes live. It's always the case. Always the case. You're kicking yourself for passing on 7V. Well, don't kick yourself too hard. Like the shipment for that is gonna be next year. There may be nicer 75% by the time the 7V ships. Oops. So I don't know about you all, but I feel like this plate, it's easier to clip switches in than my previous plate. I wonder if more than just the brushing has changed. Mine clipped and super tight, but yeah, creams are super tight. There's just no way around that. Which is probably why I regret doing my creams. Greatly regret my creams. You're on Primus right now? How did you get a Primus already? Oh wait, that's you're joining the group by on Primus. I really wish that the Primus had a better PCB though, to be honest. It's like, it's gonna be a novelty PCB just because it'll be the first boot mapper client PCB that has USB-C. If Merlin doesn't like the PCB, you don't like the board. Oof. Dude, all of your switch legs, like I feel like this is the 7th one which I've had to straighten out. Just buy whatever I say to buy. It's very dangerous. But I appreciate your faith in me. Alright, we have all them clipped in. Let's put it on the PCB. Oh wait, before I do that, let's just double check again and make sure all the legs are straight. There is a unstraight one here. Another unstraight one. And another. Oh, didn't quite do that properly. Are they all bad? A lot of them are not full on straight, but that's usually what happens when you leave switches in the bag. There's no way around it. It's almost like someone took the bag and just shook it really, really hard. Like trying to bag lube it. Trying to bag lube it with no lube. Just wanted to shake it. Alright, there we go. Your creams are still in the bag too. Okay. Let's connect it. Let us connect it. If I did this correctly, everything should just slide into place. That's if I did it correctly. Sure enough, we have another one who's not so straight. There is nothing stopping me from making a QMK numpad a macro pad, is there? There is nothing stopping you. You can program the keys however way you want. Let's try that again. So you had extras lubed. Always appreciate it. I think one of the first builds that I ever did for like a customer, I was not given enough switches. Yay. Is it bad to click and switches into the plate with the PCB underneath? No, it's not. I've just started doing it this way just because it seems faster. And I can make sure that the switches actually clip into the plate before they clip into the PCB. Here's another guy. Another guy who's not so straight. Ah. The PCB isn't perfectly aligned. You might bend pins or scratch the PCB. Yeah. In some cases, there are some PCBs like the Jupiter 75, where for the most part, they support PCB mount, except for 1 or 2 switches. If you guys want to see what I'm talking about, make sure you check out that build. That one was interesting to say the least. Whew. Yeah, so like each way of doing stuff, like right now I'm putting it into the plate first before going into the PCB. They all have their drawbacks and pros. Like for now, right now, it seems to be it's harder to clip into place. S3LQ, what were you expecting the cam command to do? I can probably add it. Tell me what camera you use. Oh, this camera is an A6300, a Sony A6300. If you want to see the list of commands that I have, do exclamation point commands and you'll see all of them. Alright, looks like we're good. We'll have to push a little bit more. Nice, you use a cam link? Yes, I do. I use a cam link. But the Sony apps can actually allow you to stream without using a cam link. I just use a cam link because I have one. Right, looks like I'm gonna have to push a little bit harder on this. Let me grab my handy thimble. There we go, the command camera. Thanks, man. Thanks for adding that. I didn't know you could add commands that easily, so thanks for showing me that. There we go. Whew. Alright, we're good to solder. I'll have to push a little bit more of them in, but I'm gonna let the solder hold things in place. Are all the switches bent? Quite a few of them were. We've had to like straighten them out, but this is fine. Should be fine. No worries. You really want to build right now, but you need to replace your soldering tip. Bent doesn't affect anything. Yeah, for the most part, it doesn't. Whew. You find it amazing that there's no single store that sells that's soldering equipment. You'd be surprised. Here in Seattle, I've only really located 3 ever since Radio Shack disappeared. I feel like ever since Radio Shack disappeared, a lot of those type of stores also started dwindling. Not that Radio Shack is supposed to be like the best one or anything, but just something I noticed. Like, and now Fry's is pretty much on like death's door, so that's even harder now. All right. We worked at Radio Shack before they went bankrupt, and they were only pretty much surviving off phone sales. I heard that. I had a friend who used to work for Radio Shack as well, and he told me that his boss kept making him drive phone sales. Being like, hey, make sure you sell these phones. And he was kind of like, but we have other stuff. But nope, that's how they earned their money, through phone sales. That's also when he quit. There may have been a time where I bought burners at Radio Shack. Let's keep it between us. Okay, I think I need to know what I need to do here. I think this is an instance where I have to do it the old way. By old way, I mean not clip it to the plate first. This doesn't happen very often, but I think this is one of those cases. Might be better to do it this way. It's a very different build experience than the hot swap one, where clipping it to the plate actually works better. What switch remover is that? This is just, well, it's not really a switch remover. It's more like it's an IC remover. Nothing special, to be honest. Yeah, I'm doing it because it's really annoying how I can't get the switches to sit completely flush. And that annoys the hell out of me, to be honest. There we go. We'll do half clip into plate and half do it one by one. Kind of like how I used to do it. Such a scuffed set of switches. Ugh. Like I said, it doesn't really matter. Okay. There we go. I think that's enough switches removed. We can do this better now. Are you just using a screw dish to press on the switches? A screw dish? No, I'm using a switch opening tool. So what I'm trying to do right now is making sure that the switch is completely flush with the PCB as well. And that's proving a little more difficult than I thought it would be. So we're just going to mount all of the anchor points first. The blue thing? Yes, the blue thing. It's a switch opening tool. It's 1/2 of the switch opening tool. Do you use a fume extractor? I do, actually. I don't have it on right now because I'm just doing the mounting points. But once I have the mounting points all taken care of, and I'm doing a whole bunch of them in a row, that's when I'll turn it on. Okay, I think I've got a few of them in. Okay. There we go. Let's do one more mounting point. We should be good. Right. Let's do this side too. Okay. Okay. There you go. We can turn on the fume extractor now. Fume extractor is in the hat. Alright, you guys can probably hear that. That is the fume extractor. I'm gonna solder all these switches that are currently on this. Whew. That would actually be pretty funny if I managed to design a hat that was also a fume extractor. Would people actually buy that? That would be amazing for people to smoke in public. So you just see like a bunch of people with like wizard hats. Be like, what are you guys doing here? Oh, we're just smokers. We're just smokers. You know, I was talking with Bree. I'm not sure if you guys know her, but she appears frequently on the KBDFans Discord. She was asking me, in order to protect from ESD, did she need to bring anything else? So I'm like, sure, you could buy one of those ESD protective jackets and stuff like that. And it got me thinking, like, what if I talked with this ESD protective companies and was like, hey, could I get like a bunch of those, but with the Mech Merlin logo, and I could sell a jacket, a hat, and pants, and call it the Wizard's Regalia, or something like that. And I could advertise it to be like, increases soldering proficiency by 30%. Chris Andibles. Could work. You need that buff. You need that buff. Everyone needs that buff. Like they've got like ESD protective wrist wraps, and then I can call those wizard bracelets or something like that. I keep hitting the microphone with my hat. Alright, I think I'm seeing what some of the issue was earlier. Because of this flex cut right here that runs through the PCB. The way I was doing it earlier, in which I clipped it all onto the plate and tried to squeeze the PCB on, it wasn't hitting this middle part very correctly. So as a result, it was making switches on the top and on the bottom to not clip correctly into the PCB. So yeah, because I realized I have to make sure the middle row is good before I can do too much more. Anyone grab a KBD8X today? I actually woke up this morning to see if I could grab it. But as I was saying on the KBD Fans Discord, I got up, I'm like, do I need another keyboard? The answer is always yes. But did I want this particular keyboard? And I think this morning, the answer was no. I looked at it again and I was like, don't think I need another TKL. 2 TKL is more than sufficient for me. So here I am. The 8X was what you wanted first when you got into keyboards. Well, there we go. Glad you got it. From what I hear, it's supposed to be a board that sounds a whole lot better than the board I'm building right now. I've actually been contemplating a BM40 RGB. Ah, interesting. Grabbed the TKL last month, can't get 2 in a row, right? Well, we'll see. You guys have been long-time watchers of my stream. I very rarely have a TKL in use. Buy all the boards. Okay, so here's my own personal thought about this. I think we've gotten to the point where there are way too many people in the hobby, but not enough product. So, my theory is that if you really want to get everything and you don't have good luck for group buys, I would say buy the boards that are guaranteed to be hits even if you don't like it, so you can then trade it for boards that you actually want. Just need a key cult or Rama Works boards and endgame. Speaking of Rama Works boards, anyone in on the Zenith? The zenith is basically at 65% with the macro keys on the left hand side. Gasket mount, might I add. People are paying ridiculous amounts. You'll be in on the zenith, just not yet. Yeah, you've got a few more days, right? That thing expires at the end of the month. Yeah, that's a few more days. Wow, even the 8X is going for 500 to 550. That is a lot of money for a KBD fans board, to be honest. And oh, end of July. Okay, I must have read that wrong. I am thinking about it too. It's a gasket mount board, and so far my favorite board in my menagerie here are gasket mounts. Or I've only got one, to be honest, but it's my favorite sounding board, my favorite typing board too, so I am looking to expand my gasket mounts. Yeah, Vega's also gasket mount, if I'm not mistaken. I see Awesome Keyboards has followed. Thanks, man. And also a Jiz Donka. The board I'm building is going for 400. Maybe I should sell my hot swap then. Gets very little use. It's very, very little use, to be honest. Alright. Oh, Yan finished his build. Nice. Only left half. Ah, okay. Only left half. Was Xeno group by limited? No, it was not. Well, it was limited by the time, but not by how many people joined it. Right. Yeah, that's actually the trick. You need to populate the flex cuts switches first. Otherwise it's just not gonna it's not gonna seat with the PCB as well. There we go. Yay! Yay, alright. Okay. Excellent. I can put the rest of the switches in. Shouldn't be a problem anymore. Whew. Yep, that fits in so much easier. Yep. Flip, 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 flip. There we go. Whew. Yay. Yo, I didn't even know you streamed, says IMAX. I started streaming last year, but I I started off in YouTube. I realized how much I disliked editing videos, but I enjoy talking with people. So here I am on Twitch, doing my thing. Yeah, I do not remember you, actually. If you want to remind me where we last met. Talked to you on Discord like a while ago. We were talking about me buying a poker case from you for my first... Yeah, that's probably a long time ago. I don't have that poker case anymore. I'm surprised that you remember me. Alright. Hey, Chart, if you're still online, remind me again. You wanted the stepped caps lock, correct? IMAX says, what's the monitor? The monitor is an LG 24-inch. It's a gaming monitor that I picked up from Costco. I don't remember the exact model number, but several people on stream have actually pointed it out. No, he left. Ah, okay. Now that the customer has left, I can do whatever I want with this board. Wahahaha. Let's see. We're almost done soldering. We are... I know it may seem like I'm almost done, but I'm still only 50% of the way through. It's because the way I solder things is I solder only one leg at a time. So right now, all the switches that you see here, well, most of them, only have one leg soldered. See? All that stuff. But we shall get there. We will get there. Soldering that other leg is a lot simpler. A lot faster too. Whew. Alright. 07/24/2019. Oh boy, that's a long time ago. Let's see, Ghost Grixie says, do you know how to set a switch to tap mod so tap his arrow keys and hold his mod? Yeah, there should be, if you look around the Quantum tab, you should be able to do that. Just hover over the key, and it should tell you. I apologize, but I can't exactly give QMK help right now. I'm kind of preoccupied. All right. Let's see. Let me just ping him really quick so I make sure that I get his right layout. Mr. Chart. Here we go. Are you absolutely sure you want stepped caps lock? And we shall wait for him to respond. Meanwhile, I will check. I'll do some QC here. Make sure I've got everything flush. So far, so good. He says, yes, sir. Perfect. All right. Off we go. He's absolutely sure he wants step caps lock. No problem. We can do that. Alright, okay. I'm officially 50% done, maybe 51% done. Almost all the legs are through, so we shall do a speed run. A speed soldering, getting the other half done. Here goes. Chart says just got back. Step caps lock means the switch is in a different position. Yes, it does. It's a different style keycap too. I would do mod. Oh, okay. So the way I do all of my arrows on the 60% is I keep it on a different layer and I just toggle to that layer whenever I need to use arrows. See, I see Keski Dev has followed. Thanks, man. Thank you for your support. It's your first time here. I build keyboards on the hardware and on the software level. You thought it was just a different keycap, like a different icon. No, it's not. It's actually stepped, because one side is higher, like a step. So Chart, I do have to say I am a little bit jealous of your switch selection here. I've been looking for regular Gateron inks for the longest time. Have not been able to find them. Well, I'm looking for Gateron blacks with clear tops, I mean, yeah. And I was really hoping that Novelkeys' latest restock would have them, but he did not. So here I am, still waiting for them. So the switch has to be off center? Yes, it does. It's actually shifted to the left a little bit. I'll show you once we're ready to put keycaps on this board. Now, that's actually a very common question, and I've seen a lot of people, like, you know, like whenever there's a build service done, especially on KBDFans, they ask for stepped caps lock, not realizing that it's a whole different keycap, right? They get their board and the key set that they just bought suddenly doesn't fit. Learn something new. Stepped caps is best caps? I would disagree. I disagree strongly. But to each his own. Or her own. Preference is a thing in this hobby. The reason why I say step caps lock is not the best is because I commonly used my caps lock key as a control key. And having it as a stepped key makes it harder to hold down. You use it as a control as well. Ah, looks like I have finished my second vial of solder. Not bad. Right. I have finished the soldering. Ken Flo digs the music. Thank you very much. Alright. QC time. Let's see how I did for my soldering. Let's make sure nothing looks like a cold joint or balled up. Everything has to look cylindrical. All pads are properly covered. Ah, there we go. That guy right there is not fully covered. So we flow a bit. Alright, looking good, looking good. I can finally turn off the soldering iron and the fume extractor. Okay, let's see if everything is as good as I say it is, right? Let's plug it in, test the board once again. Oh, okay, I see that chart. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted... this guy right there. Okay. Does the board work? That is the question. Does the board work? Chart, do you mind disclosing who you paid for lube services? Perfect. The board works. Everything works. Awesome. Okay, let's see. I like to clean up the board just a little bit, so let me grab my rubbing alcohol really quick. Here we go. I always stress this. Whenever you guys do any soldering, you get excess flux that builds around each leg. And, you know, it's that brown, yellowish stuff. You don't normally see it when it's a black board like this. But I'm kind of OCD about it. Speaking of OCD, I do see a little more legs that could use some reflowing. Yeah, typically what flux does, especially leftover flux, over time it can oxidize and it can corrode. So when it starts to corrode your switch legs, it may result in a cold joint and the key will no longer work. So to avoid that, I like to clean it off. There we go. These joints look better. And the way I do that is use 99% isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush. And when you do this, you're able to get at all of the hard stuff and really scrape it off because the toothbrush fibers. But the consequence of doing this is you take that excess flux and you spread it all across your board. So it's not like it's very big, but you can tell how much you've spread by how sticky your board is after this. So after this procedure, I like to take a Q-tip and continually to wipe away all of that excess flux. But the toothbrush is a must because that's really the only way you can get the hard stuff off. Also, we are in the time of COVID, and I guarantee you that I stayed 6 feet away from Chart as he handed me his board. So I am sanitizing his board by doing this. You didn't know brushing your PCB's teeth was covered by the build price? Well, I hope you have good PCB insurance. PCB dental insurance. There we go, I got off that flux. Yeah. Oh wait, there's still some more left on the top row. So there's no like real method of doing this. Basically just brush your PCB like you brush your teeth. You know, circular motion. Make sure you angle your brush. Oh, hold on, let me get rid of that testing. There we go, so you guys can all see me. Oh, let me adjust that a little bit. There we go. A nice circular motion. Angle your brush. And if you have a polycarb case, this is an even better idea to do because people can see how your soldering went. But for now, since he's using an alu case, this isn't 100% needed. I do recommend it though. I'm not sure if you guys watched my, let's see, I think it was my Romeo build or something. Oh no, it was my Budget 96 build where, because of the additional flux that I used, some switches were unbridged, but as soon as I cleaned it, all that bridging went away. You should probably buy like an electronic toothbrush so that I can do this faster. You're gonna be like, especially if you do it this way, it looks like your PCB was soldered at the factory. Almost. There are still traces that this was done by human hands. Alright, there we go. There we go. Right, so at this point, if you touch your PCB, you would have spread all that excess flux around. So now it should feel a little bit sticky. This is where you can use Q-tips, like so, and just clean it. Okay, so you just keep doing this until it's no longer sticky. It takes a few swabs. And you can see how much you're picking up by how yellow this turns. Right now it's not really turning yellow, so I think we may be doing pretty good here, guys. Yeah, it's not bad. As long as you use isopropyl alcohol higher than 70%, this should be completely safe to do. I guess there wasn't too much flux on this board because it's not really sticky. I'm not really picking up much here. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, I think I'm gonna call it good here, guys. Not picking up much. It's really not that sticky either. Awesome. Yay! A lot of solder on your board are so hard to get rid of, especially around the switch pads. I choose a guitar pick. Yeah, I would highly suggest using this because I think that the guitar pick might be too abrasive. You like have a high chance of knocking off components if you use that, but with this one's completely fine. It's meant for your mouth after all. Alright. I think we're good. We are good. PCB is ready to be installed. Let me clean up a little bit here, guys. I wouldn't want to chip off an SMD diode. Yeah, that's a very real possibility. I've seen it where people who are soldering, but they're not very careful, sometimes when they move the soldering iron around, like the added heat and the fast movement is enough to knock off a diode. And that actually happens quite frequently. Right, here goes. Let us grab the case. Okay, so chart, I sure hope you checked to see that the board had all the screws needed. See, look, all this stuff right here, this is stuff that is required for the hot swap build. Look at that. Yeah. There we go. There's the black one right there. Let's go take it apart. Chart says, uh-oh. Well, it's not uh-oh, they just, I think just to make it easier for themselves, they just include everything together. But it's funny, because some people who legit have a hot swap board, they end up not having enough screws, because everyone else got it. One screw. You built your hot swap without them, says Deski. I would highly encourage you to actually put those back on, because they add the necessary stability that a hot swap board requires. If you're not careful, those hot swap sockets, because the PCB isn't going to be completely parallel with the plate, there's a chance that the next time you do hot swap, you could potentially knock out one of those KL hot swap sockets. Here, while I'm here, let me show the difference. Here we go. Yeah, see, so I quite like this brass right here, this brushed brass. You compare it to mine, to my shiny brass right there. Let's see. There we go. All right. Ooh, look at that. That seems to be... Wait, are those manufacturing scratches? All around the holes here. All right. Go. Okay, which of these screws? Let's see. For mine, it was the one with the hex bits. So let's see if we can find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. There's one. Those are not it. So tiny. All the screws they gave me were Phillips. That's another Phillips. Because the ones they gave me, the ones that were hex, were the ones that connected the plate. Man. So far I've only found 2, which is not a good sign. Got 3, 4, 5. We just need 1 more and we should be good. And 6. There we go. There we go. We got it, boys. We got it. Wait a second, that... What? Are these screws different than mine? I think the answer is yes. Yep. These screws are different than mine. What the freak? Okay, what screws is it then? Here. I'm going to assume it might be the next longest screw. We'll try. We shall try. Nope, that screw seems too big as well. Wow. Mine were black button heads. Yeah, that's the one I'm using right now. Come on, KBD fans. Really? You've got to be kidding me. Let's see, what other screws are available? Let's see. Scuffed build. Yeah, I'm counting. Here, let's try these guys. Yeah, no way. Seems to be it's the smaller screws. But for my build, I use these smaller screws to connect the PCB to the plate. That's so odd. That's so odd. The heck? Okay, hold on. Let me just look online. Let me look online, because this is different than my build. Here, why don't we go look at Andy's actually? Shout out to Andy. Part 1, building the case. Let's see. Timestamps, there we go. Test PCB, different types of screws. Perfect. That's what I like. It's watching Andy's build.
I've already taken apart the bags. You should have a few types of screws, and this is where
he's even building a black one as well. Let's see, what screws did he use?
You need to be able to communicate what you're missing, and the customer service is here. They're doing a lot of orders from Black Friday, so they're rushing out and they're producing as many of these boards as they can. It's a very popular board due to how much quality you get for the price. So let's go through the items that we're going to be doing. So right here, these are the longest screws.
Looks like he's got lots of screws too, and
That is the length of the screw. So long-ish.
it's almost like he's making like a gang sign.
See, one is less than half of the other.
Yep. I have neither of those screws that that he just posted.
Screws on the outside. In my package, I got a few extras of those. What I will call medium length screw. This is for the standoffs, and the standoffs. Right? So in this little
Yeah, I've got standoffs. Yeah, I've got standoffs.
brass standoffs. These brass standoffs are Phillips head screws, and those screw together with this black.
I don't have that screw. What?
Demonstration as to how that would look. It will look like this. The hex screw is on the bottom. This is on the side of the PCB, and above the PCB will be a brass piece, standoff, and on top of
Thanks,
it,
KBD fans.
brass piece into the plate will be frozen.
Yeah, I have those screws on my first build, but not this time around.
This, I have these insulated washers on the screws, and this is to protect the keyboard from EST.
Do I have extras from the... No, I don't, actually, because remember, I was missing screws as well. Okay. So let me... I'm thinking that it's actually this longer screw, because mine also had a longer screw. It's gotta be this guy right there. It's gotta be this one, yeah. Only 2 to 3 months for screws. Alright, let's see if I can find more of these. Maybe it's this one. Okay. KBD fans, why you do this? Why you do this? Okay. I'll just organize all these so I have all of them. You can just go to Tacoma screw. M to 5 millimeters. Okay, like that confirms the 5mm one. Oh, not only is the product name confusing, but also the number of screws that they send you. One could say that I've been screwed over. It looks like I have something that's 4mm and something that's 5mm. Alright, chart. What do you want me to do here? Should I try with the screws that you have here, or do you want to just go to Tacoma Screw sometime? They're only open Monday through Saturday. I know, because I go there. Can it be built with what you have? I think it can. I think. I just have to select the right length of screw so it actually goes through it. No fastenal. It looks like these longer screws are going to be the one to do. But I need 2 more of them. 2 more of them. Do your thing and just let me know. Okay, I'll do my thing. I'll do my thing. Okay, let's do this. I found the last one. Okay, let's do this. Let's do it. KBD really pissing me off. Yeah, wasn't your KBD8X also damaged in some way? First time buying, and yeah, not the best, but you get what you pay for. They are entry-level custom with very poor QC. That's the problem with them. Like, their PCBs are fine, to be honest. Like, they probably have the same failure rate as like everyone else. But their cases, oh my word, their cases. There we go. I think I just made do with the screws that are in here. There we go. Look at that. Here, so I'm gonna pull a Dairy Queen. All right, let's put away the rest of these screws. should be fine in that regard. Alright. That is the bottom. And we'll be putting on a case foam. That seems awfully thin. Hold on. Let me compare that to my foam. Yeah, my foam is about a quarter thicker, but let's see how it goes with just this foam and nothing else. Let's do that. Okay. Alright, let's do this. Turn it upside down. Minimal Infusion says, nice stream going there. What are some of your favorite tactile and linear switches? I'm currently on a linear kick. Some of my favorites are Gateron Black Inks, Alpacas. Let's see what else. What else am I liking here? Mauves, Gateron Yellows. See what else. Currently looking for Gateron Milky Topped Blacks. Yeah, I think that's pretty much a good summary of what I like. Oh yeah, and Telios can also be added to that list. Ladies and gentlemen, KBD67. Yeah, not bad. Let's see, does it line up? Yes, it does. Perfect. Most excellent. All right. Let's see, since this is a black case, I'm actually going to start putting JTK white on black on it. Hold on, let me screw it in tighter. See, it's still opening up a bit. But before we continue further, actually, I want to take this moment to briefly talk about some of the wonderful people who can make this stream happen. Before I put on those keycaps, let's switch over real quick. Here we go. Enough of Andy's face. I'm going to talk about some of my sponsors right here. Alright folks, my first sponsor of the day is Novelkeys. Novelkeys is located in West Virginia, pretty well known in our community at this point. In fact, they're running quite a few group buys. Let's go check them out. Let's say the one that I'm most interested in on their website is probably going to be, where'd it go? Where'd Boneyard go? Boneyard. What? How is Boneyard not there? So let's just click on it right there. Here we go. Join now. Here we go. They are doing a group buy for GMK Boneyard. This set is ending on July 3rd, 2020. Thank you, Xenophobia. See, a base kit's retailing for 120, 40s for 40, novelties for 35, and the domino set for $35. Let's see. Keep in mind that because this is a GMK set, it will be delivering in February of 2021. Once again, that's February of 2021 next year. So you better be patient if you buy this. The next set that they're doing is GMK Midnight Rainbow. Midnight Rainbow is created by Jay, one of the co-hosts of Top Clack, running until June 26. So yeah, not much time on this as well. And because it is a GMK set, also February of 2021. See, base kit retails for about 130. Space bars also 25. Let's see. Last but not the least, Cam Ghost. Cam Ghost is basically, well, how would I describe this? It's basically white on white. I'm personally not a big fan of this set, but if you want to try out the cam profile, check out how cheap it is. 35 for the alphas and 45 for the TKL mods. This is something you can definitely get for under 100 bucks. Group buy is running once again until July 3rd and is projected to ship this year, December 2020. Like so. Very nice. And if none of these interest you, but you'd rather just buy some of their stuff, for example, earlier this week, they restocked Durock stabilizers. You can use you can use discount code WIZARD and get up to 5% off. So unfortunately, if you do want this, 6.25 and 6.25 is completely sold out, but 2U and 7U are still in abundance. There we go. My next sponsor is Zeal PC. Zeal PC is located in Richmond, Canada. He sells some of the most expensive switches in our industry, but they're good. Earlier I mentioned that one of my favorite switches is actually Telios, but before that I was really big on his Zelios and all that. If you're noticing the board that's in front of me right now, I actually bought this from Zeal PC not too long ago as well. There we go. Let's see. What does he have going on right now? Oh yeah. If you guys check out his Instagram, he's doing a teaser of his next switch, his 3-in-1, clicky, linear, and tactile. Make sure you check him out on Instagram. Next sponsor is Dixie Mech. Dixie Mech is located in Alabama, here in the United States. His set for the month is Modern Dolch 2. Look at all this. Look at all that. If you missed out on the first time, this is your second chance. Set runs all the way till July 2nd, and because it is a GMK set, I'll have to remind you all again, expect delivery sometime next year, hopefully in Q1. Here we go. Regional storefronts. You've got EU, Oceania, Asia, China, and I guess Z Frontier is doing everyone else. Pricing. Let's see. Pricing. North America is $99.99. This might be the cheapest GMK set currently running. Right. My next sponsor is Keebio. Keebio is a fellow QMK collaborator along with Xenophobia and myself. He also runs a store. You may have heard of him. He goes by Danny or Baking Pie. Some of the stuff on his website is the Iris. He sells the Elite C. And if you tune in sometime next week, I think, I'll be building a BDN9, this guy right here. Also courtesy of Chart, who is the customer for the day. Check it out, guys. It is currently in stock. Now, if you guys use discount code wizardhat, you can get any of these items up to 15% off. So please consider using them. One thing I always talk about buying is peel away sockets, especially if you have lots of pro micro builds. This will save you a lot of grief, will save you a lot of terror, and it's fairly cheap for $2.49. So please highly consider that. My next sponsor is Project Keyboard, who I actually linked the lube from earlier. Let's see, is it still in my paste buffer? Boom. Yes, it is still in my space buffer. Yeah, here we go. There we go. He is, let's see, can I find it here? Or rather, I'll just do this. There we go. This is the lube that I've used for almost all of my builds. For 45 bucks, you can have this entire container. I've built roughly 30 boards worth of switches with this, along with stabilizers, so it lasts quite a while. Highly suggest it. Highly, highly suggest it. See, my next sponsor and newest sponsor is actually Canon Keys. Here we go. I was actually looking through their website earlier, and I found this set, the PBT Ortho Symbology keycaps. If you recently bought an Atlas from them, or just want like a good ortho set, this might be the set to get. That for $69.99, 70 bucks, you can get one to fully populate your Atlas. Let's see, what else do they have going on? They are running Cat Explosion. Cat Explosion. I feel like lots of cat sets have recently run on Canon Keys, and this is the next one. You can get alphas for 30, and where's the TKL? Crimson. Let's see, Crimson icon mods for 60, both under 100 bucks. Oh, you're right. Thank you. Yeah. Here we go. Crimson icon mods right there. Check it out. I'm still not a big fan of the set. I keep looking at it, but I'm like, maybe not. Maybe not. If I did have, if this was the only set available and I had to pick it, I'd probably go more for the alt alphas versus the crimson ones. Just saying. Let's see, how much is this? Yeah, you can get both the alphas and the mods for under 100 bucks. So you have until July 1st to purchase this, and estimated delivery is February of 2021. For sure. Oh, look at that. That's cute. That's very cute, but it's 60 bucks. Oh wait, no, it's not 60 bucks. It's 38 bucks. Okay. Cool. I might just buy that just cuz. Who knows? All right, guys, thank you so much for letting me talk about my sponsors. Oh yeah, this is the KBD67. Let's go put on some keycaps. Here we go. As I said earlier, a black board usually looks really good if you put black keycaps. So here we go. My keycaps of choice right now are JTK white on black. That sounds pretty good. If I say so myself. Hey, okay, who was asking about stepped caps lock? Check it out. This is a stepped caps lock key. You notice how it's elevated over here like a step. If you turn it around, you'll see that the stem is located further to the left than to the middle. Let's see. Do I have a regular one to compare? Not here. I'll just compare it later once I find it. How's the JTK quality? I think they're fine. Most of the issues with them is with the legends, to be honest. It's mostly with the legends and the consistency of how thick the keycap is. I think I did a review of charred orange, and you can see that the light, if you have backlighting on your board, some of the keys are very inconsistent. Why do these caps make this board look low pro? This is just regular cherry. Nothing really different there. The legend looks super bold. Just reminded me of a song. Any of you guys know that Jimi Hendrix song, Axe as Bold as Love? Any hot swap KB kits you'd recommend from any of your sponsors? Anything that doesn't require soldering? I've been eyeing the Zeniths, and I was wondering if you had other recommendations. The Zenith is probably the board to get right now, especially if you have the money to spend on something that high end. Yeah, if you don't, it's exactly what Mr. McGurk said. We have the NK65 from Novelkeys releasing possibly next week. Next week or the week after. All he said was end of the month, so we don't know at this point. But the budget option is less than 100. Can't beat the price, yeah, I agree. No beating the price. You know, Chart, I am just gonna say it. I think this board already sounds better than mine, especially because it's linear. I'm slightly jealous. You guys will hear it when I put them side by side. Oh, there's the eye. And check it out. Put a key on the wrong way. that out. Let's put that on. Let's see. Where are my... There we go. Ah, that sounds so good. Ah, why does this board sound better than mine? Okay, where's that space bar? Space bar. Yes, I have foam in mine. Okay, I need other keys. Let me figure that out. Page down, page up. Is that the right one? Nope, that is not the right one. That rightmost column is always the hardest to populate for me. The right, nope, that's still not the right one. All right, I'll have to pull out, here. Let me pull out my other kit. Or rather, the rest of the kit. So if you guys have ever bought a JTK set, they come in a nice packaging like this. Let's see, Kitamet, thanks for following. Here's my other page up, page down. The correct one? Nope, that's still not the correct one. Let's play that. Ah. There we go, let's just do that for now. There we go. That works out. We still need that one key there, actually. Let's do... There you go. Let's do this. Right there. There we go. An all black board, guys. What do you think, Chart? Do you like your board? It says, I like that set. Yeah. JTK white on black. I wish mechanical keyboards would actually sell it for cheap. But they don't have it in stock right now. Oh, it sounds so good. Alright, let me pull out my keyboard and you guys can laugh at the difference in sound. It's so clean. Here, keep in mind, mine has, let's see, which ones were these? The trash purple pandas. And it's also XDA, so check it out. Oh wait, I should probably pause the music. Oh, there we go. Okay. My board pales in comparison. Makes me want to sell it even more. Or maybe I should just swap out the switches, because this is a hot swap board. I think that's what I'll do. Alright, we are going to do a typing test. Don't be surprised when you get a silver board instead. Here. Alright, let me put this guy away. Put that away. Yours sounds so cheap. I'm so sad. You make me feel sad. Alright. That. Oh, that looks so pretty actually. Holy cow. Alright, let's do a typing test. Typing test. Uh-oh. It's not responding. What? Uh-oh. No way. What in the world? It's a clean board for sure. Here, let's try a different cable. Oh, there we go. What? Why would that? Bad cable, maybe? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, well, let's just stick with this cable for now. Let's just stick with this cable. All right, let's go to typings.gg. Here we go. You gotta stop scaring me. Like, oh no, your board turned silver. I don't know what happened. There you go. Let's pick a nice dark theme right there. Just like that. Here we go. Looks good, right? Here, let me clear out my space here. Everything is nice and black. Okay. Let's do this. How fast do you guys think I can do this? Let's see. The last time I hit 160 with my Xeno with lighter switches. This is a heavier switched board, so I may run a bit slower. Let's try it. And my accuracy is gone. $126. All right, let me see. Do I have a wrist rest here I could use? I think I've put away all my wrist rests. And I returned the Timo as well, so I don't even have that wrist rest. Here, let's try again. No. 141, 98% accuracy. I like this board. I like the KBD67 now. I think my opinion is changing on it after typing on this board. Let's try again. Here, let me bring down my mic a little bit lower so we can get a more accurate sound, quote unquote. There we go. You guys can see that mic coming out. Still sounds great. There we go. Now I can't really see my screen, but oh well. Let's try it again. I don't know about you guys, but that sounds pretty damn good. It's a very nice sounding board, I'd say. Very nice sounding. Then you compare it to this piece of crap. Alright, this is the exact same board, just with different switches and different keycaps. I think this has convinced me to switch to using linears. Exact same board, but with a different PCB. And slightly differently manufactured, I'd say. But it's pretty much the same board. One hot swap, one soldered. Linears are overrated. Tech boy for life. Hey Chart, what's that thing behind you? Oh dude, your board just turned silver. I don't know what happened, man. Dang. Yeah, we'll see. I will probably rebuild my board because of this board now. All right. Everyone's doing that face, the LUL. Cool. Well, I am very happy with this build, and I hope you will be too, Chart. But as always, I tend to hold on to a new build at least a week after, so I can diagnose if any keys are dead or like anything like that. Chart said nothing is behind me. Yeah. Oh gosh, this just holy cow. This is great. I like it. Oh crap, I'm just typing in the chat here. Look at that. Oh my gosh, yeah. Not working with that cable worries me. Here, let's go try it with that cable again. See, everything is plugged in. Everything looks like it's plugged in. Here, let's try this. It is not working. Maybe I have to like flip the cable or something. Here, let's do this. It works! Just because I flipped the stupid cable. What the hell? Okay. Okay, that's weird. Singapore! I was just complaining how I don't have your Timo anymore, so I don't have a wrist rest. This Timo is hard to... I told you, dude, I typed on your Timo for like 3 days straight. I was gaming on it too. And those H1s were so stiff. You know? Singapore says, wow. Alright. Oh, I see Alex Hahn has subscribed. Thank you, man. And S1 Ado has also followed. Thanks, guys, for all of your support. Let's see. Today is June 20th. Okay. See, my next stream should be tomorrow evening, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'll be talking about upcoming group buys for the week to come. Upcoming group buys and group buys that are ending. If that kind of information interests you, definitely tune in. Also, for all of you, let's see, 70 viewers right now. Next week is giveaway week. I'll be doing another giveaway of a keyboard. So tune in next week if giveaways are your thing. Especially since Zark is not here, Mr. Giveaway winner. Singapore says, gonna inspect the PC for your sweat marks now. Oh boy. Alright guys, thank you for joining the stream. Once again, this was a customer build of a KBD67. The silver one is the board I built. The black one is the customer build, and I've been enlightened. So stay tuned for another rebuild of Merlin's KBD67, but with linears. All right, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your Saturday, and I will catch you tomorrow evening. Goodbye now.